First Alert 4 talking one-on-one with St. Louis Police Chief Robert Tracy as the police department prepares for changes.
Tomorrow, we could learn who will oversee the state takeover of SLMPD as a 5-member board takes charge. And our David Amilati is here in studio after talking to the chief about some of the changes ahead. David.
Well, while Governor Mike Kehoe works to make his final pick on that transition director, the city of St. Louis working to finalize its budget. And the new state law requires the city to go from 23 to 25% of its general budget for public safety. Chief Tracy says that increase happens 1% each year, eventually reaching that 25%. We're talking about some $40 million in addition each year. So I asked Chief Tracy if he has concerns about that extra money, how it gets allocated without a transition director involved in this year's process. He says no, and that he is directly involved in that process.
We'll be working with the administration, and as soon as the transition director comes in, we'll start to have further conversations of where the money needs to be, where the bills are being paid, and how we can do a good transition. But everybody wants to make sure that we are the police department, and we're a critical part of this city. So I think everybody wants to make sure this goes as best as possible.
Chief Tracy was just with the governor in Jefferson City yesterday. He says he did not learn the name of the pending transition director, and says Governor Kehoe is focused on vetting a list of multiple names. The law the governor signed, you saw it there, that was last month. It gave him 30 days to make his selection on who will oversee this transition of SLMPD under an oversight board. The deadline is tomorrow. At least it makes 30 days. I asked the chief if this is taking longer than expected and if that's a problem.
Absolutely not. It's a very important job, but you know, I think the confidence of having a chief that's been here for 2.5 years gives you the luxury of time to try to get the right person.
Now, if the governor needs more time, he could hold off until making an announcement next week or even beyond. The law doesn't outline a penalty or consequence. As for the funding part of all of this, because SLMPD now has to develop things like its own HR department and figure out how to maintain its vehicle fleet, those tasks the city handles right now, those processes are slowed down right now until this transition director is announced.
Well, and David, a lot of this stuff is happening kind of behind the curtain.
Right.
A lot of people wouldn't notice a lot of these changes. Did you get any idea of what type of changes people of St. Louis might be able to expect in the coming months with the police department?
Sure. So SLMPD says most residents won't notice a change with how policing happens in the city, saying officers will remain on the streets, responding to 911 calls, and investigating crimes. We do know that Governor Kehoe will be in our area tomorrow. I will be there, and I'll be sure to ask him the latest about this process.
Hopefully we'll get some more answers about that.
Yes.
David will have that reporting for us tomorrow. Thank you.
Tonight, we